What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of KozMatt's Wrestling Recap. With Backlash behind us, we are full steam ahead on the road to Money in the Bank. Tonight's show kicked off with a fired up CM Punk calling Paul Heyman a whole bunch of names like a fat snake and a penguin. It was just absolutely hilarious. This brought out the new faction of Bron Breakker, Seth Rollins, and Paul Heyman himself, with it nonetheless leading to an all-out brawl. What did you think about the show, Matthew?
So they ended up having Bron Breakker attack CM Punk, if I'm correct. And then Sami Zayn came out to make the save, and that's going to set up a tag team match at Saturday night's main event, which
Yes,
is
sir.
next Saturday, I believe. And then we have Money in the Bank. Qualifying matches are next week. We didn't get them this week. So a week down the road, as we slowly build towards Money in the Bank, where is WWE creatively, right? I don't know. So the way they opened up the show made sense. What do we have next year? Just a little over 48 hours after Chad Gable costed Penta that Intercontinental Championship at Backlash. Singles competition this week. Two men in a mask, I'll tell you that. Now, Gable was himself tonight. He wasn't El Grande Americano.
That's because he was in Mexico, man. Keep up.
Gable was good through this match, controlling till I thought Penta was worn down, but Penta came back, survived an ankle lock, and delivered a Mexican Destroyer to take the win here. It was a good match. I'll just tell you, I think we know who the real luchador in this match is.
El Grande de Americano.
That's what I'm talking about. So they're keeping this Penta rivalry hot with Gable. I'll accept it. New Day's out next on commentary with a tag team match, War Raiders versus the Creed Brothers. Now, this is a number one contenders. Whoever wins this match takes on the New Day. Well, just like the New Day, the snakes they are, they cost Eric and Ivar the match as Julius and Brutus advance. You would think that the New Day would try to keep both teams from winning, but they ended up giving that slight advantage to Julius and Brutus. I think we're going to get a triple threat whenever they decide this takes place, possibly Saturday main event or Money in the Bank. That's what I would hope, because Eric and Ivar, they still do deserve to be in that spotlight.
You said it, man. I'm totally on board for members of American Made to finally get that push that they deserve. And it was a great tag team match. Of course, the New Day, the new heels that they are, just absolutely berating Michael Cole on commentary. It was so good. And then we saw Pat McAfee get a standing ovation. He wasn't initially on the commentary booth. He came out, got a huge ovation from the crowd after the war he went through with Gunther.
Yeah, you know what? The crowd gave him his roses, and that was it, man. I don't know what they wanted to do with that. I think I was kind of at a loss for it. It makes sense, I guess, with, commentators not being able to say what they want to say, and they kind of put it into a storyline, and I do like what they did, but I think it was just a quick hype, and let's see where it goes, and just whatever, we'll be done with it. Didn't want to lead to anything too far, but what's next for Gunther? Well, Jey Uso comes out, hyping up the crowd, cutting a promo, basically, just addressing the fans that he is champ. And the fans go absolutely crazy.
Oh, boy.
Every single week, it's the same thing over and over again. They replay his music, but I don't think I'll complain about it, though.
I love it. I do.
It is good. He's cut off by Gunther, who comes out. Now, did you expect Gunther to come out? Not really. Jey was seen unshaken by Gunther's jabs at him, but Gunther did explain that we are getting Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the world title. The winner of that match will face Gunther. So Gunther, after being basically suspended for attacking commentators like Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, going on a just unhinged rampage, to getting a match with Pat McAfee, beating Pat McAfee, and now getting a world title shot. Explain to me that storytelling right there, buddy.
It's
Does
kind
it make
of
sense? No.
it's kind of wild. It really is. But moving from a future match between Logan Paul and Jey Uso at Saturday Night Main Event, let's get right into a phenomenal matchup. You see what I did there? AJ Styles
Oh,
versus Finn Balor.
what are they doing with AJ Styles? I don't know what they should do before he retires, but I say have him go after either the World Heavyweight Championship or the Intercontinental. So AJ Styles, Finn Balor. Notice Dominic Mysterio was not ringside. JD and Carlito were. Now, this was a back and forth match. No man, either Styles or Balor, kind of sustained an advantage here until Penta made his presence felt, wiping out Carlito and JD McDonough. As things, of course, will get fishy with Judgment Day around. It actually allows Styles to pick up the win with a phenomenal forearm to close that. I like what they're doing here with Penta. They're giving him more TV time on top of having a match. You know what I mean? It makes him just feel more special, right? So I like it.
Me too,
But
man.
AJ Styles and Penta down the road, oh boy, I'm already thinking about that.
The potential matches there could be banger
Oh,
after
they need a
banger
draft.
after banger. I mean,
They do need a draft, but AJ Styles and Penta on the same roster. That is a go. Becky Lynch is out next. What do we think of Becky Lynch?
can we just blitz through this really quick? Basically saying that she's not done with Lyra Valkyria, saying if the fans are going to call her all these bunch of names like a sellout, only out for herself, that's exactly what she's going to do. And she put every woman superstar in the locker room on notice. I just wanted to get through this so we could get to the chaotic tag team main event. Becky Lynch, I love her, but there's something about these comebacks for her and Charlotte that just aren't doing it for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, go for it. Main event time. Hit
Main
her up.
event, here we go. We had Giulia and Roxanne Perez taking on Iyo Sky and Rhea Ripley, the returning Rhea Ripley from her Australia trip, and boy, did she get a pop.
Can I ask you something though? With Giulia now on Raw, Stephanie Vaquer on Raw. Well, I think at first they wanted Giulia to go over,
Yeah,
and then Stephanie Vaquer made her presence known, and the crowd seems to gravitate towards her.
yes.
So what I'm thinking is they're giving Giulia a little bit more TV time and waiting it out on Stephanie. But I hate to say it, if they're holding Stephanie off, the fans are just waiting for Stephanie to return.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a great pop because she is over Giulia and not so much. I just don't think she has that, not that aura, but she just can't connect with the crowd like Stephanie can. There's
Kind
only a certain amount of wrestlers that can do that.
kind of like Rusev, but we'll get into that another day.
Good match here. That was a good vignette they threw out on Raw. We kind of skipped that, but it was just like a quick minute vignette that, he is Rusev and he is here to dominate. It still didn't do it for me. I hate to say it. It's going to be a Becky Lynch Charlotte all over again.
Oh boy.
Really good match between these four women. So I think the women's division has been pretty good lately.
Absolutely.
Ripley leveling Giulia with a headbutt and a riptide, earning the win for her and Iyo Sky. Now, this was honestly not that long of a match. It was important that we saw Rhea Ripley and Iyo Sky come out victorious, which I think is definitely the right call, obviously. But we saw Iyo Sky holding the women's title towards the camera at the end of the show as they're doing a closing shot. And Rhea Ripley is also holding up her hand because they both won the match. Now, they're both looking at the women's championship. Are we going to see Iyo Sky versus Rhea Ripley down the road? Are they teasing Rhea Ripley going after the women's title one more time? Even though she did have it fairly recently. Are they going to go that route? I do see what they were doing there, but I don't think they should.
I understand what they're doing. They're leaving us on our toes, pushing this women's division in the main event, which I'm absolutely here for. Like you said, not a long match, but it got accomplished what we needed it to, especially heading into Money in the Bank, We know the winners of those cash-ins always create a stir-up in both divisions, the men's and the women's. So we'll just have to wait and see. Triple H has got us on our toes. Let us know what you guys thought about the show. Always like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Until then, peace out. This has been KozMatt. Thanks for watching.